NCC Podcast.
Hi, everybody. This is Megan Francis, the Public Affairs Officer, and I wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse of an upcoming tour we're doing with the Park Service and the new Old Time Chautauqua. And so here I'm going to introduce Paul and Michaela. Paul, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your job?
Sure. My name's Paul Megahn. I am from Seattle, Washington. I actually live in Port Townsend now, but I was born in Seattle a long time ago. I am part of a national touring group called the Flying Karamazov Brothers. We've been on Broadway, been in movies and on television, been on Seinfeld. That's what I do for a job, if you can call it that. And then the other thing that I do is I'm a founder of the New Old Time Chautauqua, which started in 1981, and we've been traveling around in the summers throughout the Northwest, working with communities everywhere in the Northwest, in Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Montana, British Columbia, and Alberta, and Alaska.
Awesome. And now the Colville tribes. So, Michaela, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your job?
Hi, yes, my name is Michaela Croyne, and I am a public folklorist. I recently joined the Washington State Parks system as the Cultural Heritage Program Coordinator. I'm really excited to be here to talk with Paul and you all today about this upcoming tour in June.
That's exciting. I just wanted to give you guys a moment to introduce what the Chautauqua is and what this tour is that we're talking about, because from my insight, we're going to be going to the reservation communities, Nispelem, Inchlim, Omak, and Keller. And from your guys' standpoint, you're also doing a tour throughout the state, and I just want you guys to give us a little bit of insight about the state parks, why you're working with the Chautauqua, and what the Chautauqua actually is, and what we look forward to seeing in our communities.
So the Washington Parks mission is to connect all people in Washington to their diverse natural, cultural, and artistic heritage. And I interpret that in a large part to mean that I make sure that there's space in state parks for Native voices to become a fundamental part of telling the story of the land and their connection to it. So in 2016, New Old Time Chautauqua and state parks worked with 4 different nations, including the Quileute, Yakima, Nez Perce, and the Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation. This year, we're working with New Old Time Chautauqua again, and we hope to have Colville become involved in the state parks in their territories. So we'll be going to Alta Lake, Dry Falls and Sun Lakes, Peregrine Lake, and Lake Chelan. The New Old Time Chautauqua and Parks collaboration is an effort to reinforce community ties and relationships and to educate the people of the region about local history, heritage, culture, and we think that incorporating Native voices into this is absolutely crucial for it to be successful. So ultimately, State Parks hopes to forge a partnership with tribes across the state, but also with Colville to build a long-term partnership that inspires future programming.
That's exciting because not only are you going to our communities, but you're going to different parks that are in the Colville tribe's usual and accustomed territories that we once lived in. And so to bring our voice to those parks is amazing, and I just want to thank you for working with us on making that happen. So, Paul, can you tell us what Chautauqua is and what people would expect from a Chautauqua? Because I don't think very many people understand that it's an old-time practice and that you're one of the last ones in the nation to continue doing what you do with your tour of groups.
Sure. So the Chautauqua began in 1874, the Chautauqua movement. And basically the idea is learning, self-betterment, and community. And it brings entertainment and education together, which is sort of what the genius idea of it is. And we go to traveling Chautauqua, which is, as you say, the last traveling Chautauqua left in the United States, goes to communities, and we work with the community. We don't just bring our show to the community. So, who are the Chautauquans? The Chautauquans are basically volunteers, people who are in the entertainment industry, or performers, musicians, poets, actors, people like that, trapeze artists. We have a great, wonderful show. We also have educators, people who know things about health and about agriculture, about geology, but also we teach, we have great programs for kids to learn how to juggle and do hula hoops, and we do all sorts of great programming in our Chautauqua. But what's really cool about our Chautauqua is the whole community aspect of it. We ask each community that we go to become as involved as we are in making the Chautauqua happen. And that's when sort of the magic really starts happening, is when communities and the Chautauqua troupe are all working together to make it an incredible event. And Chautauqua's been around, like I say, for a long time, and it's always been a place for ideas. And one of the people that used to travel on Chautauqua in the teens and 20s was a guy named Nepo Strongheart from the Yakima Nation, and he was instrumental, actually, as a speaker on the Chautauqua stage. He spoke of Native rights all the time and was almost single-handedly the person who got the Native folks in America to get the right to vote. And it was through his actions on the Chautauqua stage. So Chautauqua's been actually kind of an instrumental voice in Native culture. And a lot of people just don't know that because the movement sort of reached its zenith a long time ago. Anyway, so we're bringing that here, and we're super excited. We were here 2 years ago. We did a program in OMAC. We played at the senior center there, and we did workshops and a show in the gym at the OMAC Community Center. And so we're hoping this year to visit all 4 community centers. Plus, we've been working on this program, which we started at Fort Simcoe at the Yakima Nation, but we want to bring now to the Colville territory. The Bringing Native voices in a kind of long-term way into all the state parks that are here in Washington, so that people from this area, from the reservation, can go to their accustomed territories and actually have a voice in how it's curated.
Thank you. So you're talking about having fun, you're talking about social justice, you're talking about jugglers, people on stilts, like 20-man live band. Like that all sounds like a great time. So I just wanted to thank you guys for coming out here and sharing with us what we're working in collaboration together for our communities coming up this June 2018. So everybody keep an eye out for our save the date flyer for the tour, and we look forward to every community bringing forth what they can to represent ourselves and share with the Chautauquans. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
You've been listening to the NCC podcast.